morning, grade 4 students, and welcome to a new English lecture. This is lecture 10, week 13. So what are we going to cover in this lecture? Let's find out. We have the following objectives. We have a phonics lesson, reading, new vocabulary, and genre. There will be also an assignment for this lecture. I want you to solve pages in the phonics book. So the objectives that are going to be covered in this lecture: in the phonics, I have to read and spell words with long I. In vocabulary, I have the words advantage, capabilities, accelerate, friction, identity, inquiry or inquiry, gravity, thrilling. In the reading, we are going to read the lesson The Big Race, pages 64 to 67. The genre of this lesson is narrative nonfiction. In the phonics practice book, we have covered page 22 in this lecture, so you may open your phonics practice book and solve the questions while watching the video. As an assignment, I want you to, number one, solve pages 19, 20, and 21 in phonics practice book, and I want you to solve the related worksheet. Let's start. First, we have our phonics lesson is about long I. Our phonics lesson is about long I. I have words with long I, but spelled with I, then consonant, then E. I have words spelled I, GH, sound I. Words have the long I spelled Y. Words have the long I spelled IE. Words have the long I spelled I. So as you can see, here I have 5 ways in which I can see or I can hear the long I sound. Now keep in mind, when I say the long I, it means I say the name of the letter, the name of the letter. So when do I say the name of the letter, of the vowel letter? When I have I, then consonant and E, or as we said before, it is the magic E or the final E. I have the list of words. Let's read them together. The first word is the word pride. As you can see, at the end I have I, then consonant, then E. I have the word kite, twice, drive, prime, slice, wipe, and file. Now I want to say something regarding the words twice and slice. The last two letters are C and E. So when you have letter C followed by letter E, you say the soft sound of the letter C. Usually when you have letter C, you say K. It sounds K. But when it comes before E or I or Y, then you say the soft sound of the letter, such as twice or slice. I'll give you another example, like city, for example. C-I-T-Y, say S, not K, S. In the other group of words, I have words long I, with long I spelled I-G-H. So whenever you have the letters I, G, and H, they give you the sound I, as in height, slight, sigh, fright. So these are the words that have the long I sound. I can also hear the long I sound in the words shy, sly, pry, spy. These words have the letter Y at the end. The letter Y at the end makes the long I sound. I can also have hear the long I sound when I have the letters I and E together, as in pies and die. Sometimes letter I can be pronounced I if it comes alone, as in climb and minding. The last two words I have are climb and minding. Now that we have learned when do I spell the long I sound, what are the situations or the letter groups that I have, we will move on to learn the meanings of these words. Let's start with the word pride. Pride is to have self-respect. You can see it in this picture. For example, I love myself. So when you have a pride in yourself, it means like you have respect. You respect yourself. The second one is the word kite. Kite is a toy, as you can see, that can fly. This is called kite. Twice can mean double, for example, or 2 times. It also means 2 times, so this is the word twice. So we are still learning the meaning of these words. I have the word drive. So as you can see, a picture of a man driving a car. I have the word prime. Prime means of first importance or main. So when something is prime, it comes from primary. It means it comes in the first priorities, let's say. If you have something, if you have chores or things to do, then you will assign the prime thing to do, the main thing that you need to finish first. Okay, so this is the definition of the word prime. We can say that secondary is the opposite or an antonym to the word prime. The last word is the word slice. For example, a slice of pizza, a slice of lemon, a slice of pineapple. Okay, all these means a slice means a piece, a small piece. We will continue now. I have the word wipe. Wipe to clean or to dry, just like the boy wipes the table. The second word is the word file. Here I have 5 files, plastic files, right? So these are the words with long I, spelled I, then consonant, then E. Now I will move on to the words that are spelled with IGH. I spelled IGH. For example, I have the word height. Height, this is the measurement. How tall, if you want to measure how tall you are, then you have to measure your height. Second word, I have the word slight. A slight means a small degree. For example, you can say there's a slight changes on the plan. It means they are insignificant, not important, a slight, not major, slight changes, small changes. I have the word sigh. When you sigh, it means you take a long, audible breath. Okay, so when it's like you breathe in a way that others can hear you, and you take this sigh. If you are tired, if you are bored, for example, you do like this. Okay, something like that. The last word I have is the word fright. For example, fright means scary. As you can see, if you looked at the picture, the man looks terrified. Okay, he's afraid, probably of maybe he doesn't like to speak in public. Okay, so when I have the word fright, it means scary, it means terrifying. So these are the words that are under the category IGH. Long I spelled IGH. Let's move on. Now I have long I spelled Y. When I have the letter Y, it usually comes at the end of the word, as in the following words I have shy. Do you hear the long I sound at the end of the word shy? Next, I have the word shy is when someone is timid, or you know, he feels shy. It means he doesn't like to talk, or doesn't like to participate a lot. We say that he is shy. I have the word sly. Sly comes in an idiom. For example, a sly dog. What do we mean by the word sly? Is someone who, through cunning, devious, or dishonest. Okay, this one we call it sly. It's like he's clever, but in a cunning way. Okay, I have the word pry. To pry is to force open. It's to open something by force. As you can see here, he's using this tool to try and open the box. So we say pry. And the last word is the word spy. So to spy is like someone who investigate things, okay, and ask questions, probably a lot of questions, to tell the other group or the other team. We say that's a spy. It means to find clues, to find things. Now I will move on to words with long I but spelled I and E. I have here the word pies. Pies is the plural of the word pie. So when you have pie, it means one. When I have pies, more than one. I have the word dye. As you can see, this is a flower, dyes. I have the word at the end. I have words with long I spelled only I, as in climb and minding. As you can see here, the girl is climbing the mountain. And I have the word minding. Minding here, it means like planning something, okay, or trying to figure out something, probably. Now we have finished. This is our phonics lesson, so let's recap. Our phonics lesson is about long I. Long I can be heard when I have the following situations, or the following letters. When I have I-E, as in pie, as in die. When I have only letter I, as in climb, mind, kind, also behind. You can think of more words. The long I is spelled when I have IGH, as in slight, sigh. The long I sound can be heard when I have letter Y at the end, as in shy, pry, dry, sky. Okay, you can find other words. And when I have I, then consonant, then magic E or final E at the end, as in drive, prime, nine. Okay, you can also list some words with long I words, with long I sound. Now let's do some practice. We're going to practice these words. So now we're going to practice our phonics or spelling list. I have the words prime, sight, die, fright, and shy. Write the spelling word that is the antonym. What do we mean by antonym? It means the opposite of each word below. What do we mean? What is the opposite of the word fearlessness? Fearless, okay? It means there is no fear. So the opposite of there is no fear, it means there is fear. And which word here means fear? It's the word fright. Number two, I have the word significant. Significant means important. Now, which word here means opposite of important, not important or not significant? It is the word slight. Number three, I have the word secondary. Secondary means not the main important thing, or not a priority. So which word here means or opposite of secondary? Is it prime or die or shy? It is the word prime. Number four, I have the word live. What is the opposite of the word live? Is it die or shy? It is die. Number five, I have the word bald. Bald here means someone who is not scared, or he's not nervous. So which word means which word is the opposite of the word bald? It is the word shy. So shy is the opposite of bald. Write the spelling word that matches each definition below. I have the following words. I have file, kite, sigh, pry, pride, climb, spy, twice, sly, minding, pies, slice, height, wipe, and drive. So we have to write the word that matches the definition. It means the meaning. Number six, which word means toy that flies? This one's easy. It is the word kite. So you can cross out the word kite. Number 2, to force open, it is the word pry. You can cross the word pry. Number 8, to go upward. To go upward means to climb. So we can cross the word climb. Number 9, which word means 2 times, like double? It is the word twice, and you can cross the word twice. I hope you are solving this exercise with me on your practice book, phonics practice book. Number 10, to watch secretly. To watch secretly means to spy. We're going to cross the word spy. Number 11, it's the word self-respect. It was the first word I explained. Which word means self-respect? It is the word pride. Pride. We're going to cross pride. Number 12, a release of breath. A release of breath, it's the word sigh. We're crossing out sigh. Number 13, a folder of records. A folder of records, it's the word, this one's easy, file. I'm going to cross the word file. Number 14, attending to. Attending to here means planning to, okay? So it's the word minding. Minding. Number 15, I have fruit and pastry desserts. This is the word pies. Number 16, how tall something is. So when you measure someone's tall, how tall he is or she is, or something probably, we say we are measuring the height. Height. Number 17, clever or cunning. Someone who's clever or cunning. So we can also say he is sly. Sly means clever or cunning. Number 18, I have a piece that is cut. A piece, a small piece, it is the word slice. Slice. Number 19, I have to dry or clean. I still have 2 words. Is it wipe or drive? No, it is the word wipe. And number 20, to control a car means to drive a car. So now that we have finished our phonics and we have practiced their meanings, now we are going to move on to the vocabulary section of this PowerPoint of this lecture. The first vocabulary word is the word accelerate. What do we mean by the word accelerate? So the word accelerate means move faster. For example, I saw the race car accelerate or speed up across the finish line. So here this is the word accelerate. So what do you think the opposite of this word? What do you think the antonym of the word accelerate? If accelerate means move faster, what do you think the opposite of this word? And so keep this in mind. I will ask you this question during our Zoom meeting. Plus I want you to prepare sentences. Try to use these words in sentences. Even now you can just think of a sentence that you can do orally. Accelerate, what does it mean? Accelerate means move faster, speed up. Okay, this is the meaning of the word accelerate. Let's move on to the second one. I have the word advantage. Advantage. An advantage is something that is useful, that is helpful or useful. For example, the father's size gave him a big advantage over his son. Now, as you can see here, I have the father, a picture of a father and his son. The father is bigger in size, so his size, the father's size, gave advantage over or to win over his son. Okay, to win the game. So that's the meaning of advantage. So it's something that is helpful or useful. Advantage. So what do you think here? The meaning, give me another synonym of the word advantage and try to use it in a sentence as well. So this is the word advantage, advantage, something helpful or something useful. Okay, you can think of, can you think of another sentence where you can use the word advantage? Advantage, I believe that you have read this word in probably science, like what are the advantages of this and this and this. Yes, so what are the good things, what are the helpful things? Okay, let's move on to our next sentence. Next vocabulary word is the word, I have the word capabilities. Capabilities. As a definition, to have capabilities means to have the needed skills, powers, or abilities. So capabilities comes from the word abilities. Okay, they are similar, they are alike. For example, in a sentence, the capabilities of a potter include strength and creativity. Capabilities. We can use the word capabilities in many sentences. Okay, you can say, for example, the school's soccer team have the capabilities to win the contest. For example, it means they have the abilities, they have the needed skills and the needed power. Okay, you can use it. For example, I have, or I'm capable of lifting this heavy box. For example, I'm capable, it means I can do it, I have the needed skills and abilities. So this is the word capabilities. Now we'll move on to a more scientific word. This is the word friction. Friction. So as a definition, friction is a force between surfaces that slows objects or stops them from moving. For example, here, the friction between the tires and the pavement slows down the airplane. So in the picture you can see when the tires touch the pavement, okay, the friction between these two surfaces, the tires and the pavement, slows down the movement of the airplane, and eventually the airplane will stop because of this friction force. It's a kind of force. Okay, so now I will move on to another word, another scientific word. It's the word gravity. Gravity. A gravity is a force that pulls objects toward each other. Gravity, for example, in a sentence I can say, gravity helps pull the batter down into the baking pan. Now, as you can see here, this woman, she's pouring the batter of the cake probably into a pan. So what helps the batter to fall down? It is gravity. This is also another scientific word that you have to learn. Next, I have the word identity. Identity. An identity is who a person is or what a thing is. For example, the woman showed her passport to prove her identity. So when you want to prove your identity, usually for short we say ID. Identity or ID. So in your identity card you should have your name, last name, your nationality, for example, the date where you were born, your mother's name, your father's name. So an ID card has all the information about you, all the legal information about you. So this one we call it identity. For example, here we have probably the driver's license can be an identity. The passport can be an identity. So now we will move on to the word inquiry. An inquiry is a search for information. For example, reporters ask questions at the beginning of any inquiry or investigation. So an inquiry is just like a search form. When you look for information, we say you are trying to inquire information. So this is the word inquiry or inquiry in British pronunciation. So we say inquiry or inquiry. It means you look for information. Now the last word I have is the word thrilling, thrilling. To be thrilling means to be exciting. Going on a roller coaster can be exciting and thrilling. So this is the word thrilling, means exciting. Now let's do some practice. We are going to practice using these words in sentences or by filling in the blanks with the correct word. Now we are going to practice the vocabulary words. We have here 4 options: friction, thrilling, accelerate, and advantage. And this is the sentence that we have to find the missing word, the missing vocabulary word. The blank roller coaster was the most exciting ride of the day. Which word here means exciting or most exciting? Is it a friction? Is it a thrilling? Is it accelerate or advantage? The missing word here is the word thrilling, because thrilling means exciting. Second one, he showed the police his driver's license to prove his what? What does he want to prove? His what? His height? Does the police need to know the height of the driver? His identity, his inquiry. To inquire something means to ask questions. Or gravity. Which word here goes in the missing blank? In the blank, it is the word identity. In the identity, we have information about our names, last name, probably birth date, the country that we are from. So these information are needed by police. That's why the missing word is identity. Here I have the driver and passed the slower cars. So here I have a driver driving a car. What did he do and passed the slower cars? Can I say accelerated or gravity or inquiry or capabilities? The driver, here it means I want to find a word that means speed up, okay, or moved faster, so he can pass the slower cars. So it is the word accelerated. Second one, a ball falls down to the ground because of what? What makes the ball fall down to the ground? Is it because of advantage or thrilling or friction or gravity? It is the word gravity. The investigators made an what? Or search for information. Which word here means search for information? Is it accelerate, inquiry, advantage, or capabilities? The word that means search for information is the word inquiry. They made an inquiry or search for information. Second one, the player's speed was and what that led to his victory. So here we have a player who can move fast, and this was what that helped him win. It led to his victory. Is it does he have identity, advantage, thrilling, or friction? And the answer should be advantage. The player's speed was an advantage, something that was an addition, an extra skill that he had. So it was an advantage that led to his victory. Here I have the brakes use what to stop the bicycle. If you are using bicycle, if you are riding a bicycle, you will hit the brakes, yes, and this will cause what? Identity, friction, accelerate, or gravity. It will cause friction. They use a friction force to stop the bicycle. Second one, our math team has the what to win the contest. What do you think the math team should have? Accelerate, capabilities, thrilling, or identity? Our math team has the capabilities. They have skills. They are capable of winning the contest. Now we will move on to the reading lesson. In this reading lesson, I have characters. First, I have Clara. This is Clara. She's in a science museum. And here I have Alex and Liam. Alex and Liam planned to build a car. So they are planning to build a car for the soapbox derby. What is a soapbox derby? Now this is a derby means racing program. So it has been run in the United States since 1933. And what do? The competitors in this derby, they build cars. But these cars are unpowered. It means there's no engine in these cars. They only use forces such as gravity to move and win the race. A gravity racer or soapbox is a motorless vehicle, so it has no motor in it, which is raced on a downhill. So they use like a mountain, and then this is the downhill of the mountain. They use it to start the race, either against the clock. Sometimes it can be like who finishes faster, or against another competitor, or who is the winner among all the other competitors. So this is what do we mean by soapbox derby. As a result of their inquiry, this is one of our vocabulary words. Inquiry means their quest, their mission, or to search for information. So they are looking for information into how to build a fast car. How can they build a fast car without an engine? We are going to find out. They had come to the science museum today for answers. Last week, Alex's mother had called one of the museum's scientists. When they walked into the museum, a woman in a lab coat, this is the lab coat, the white coat, and inline skates, these are the skates, zoomed up and greeted them. Zoomed up just like showed up quickly. Now, when I have these quotations, it means someone is talking. Hi, I'm Clara. Are you the boys who want to know what will make a car go fast? She's asking. Yes, I'm Alex, and that's Liam. Alex responded. Why are you wearing inline skates, Clara? Liam asked. I'm a champion skater, Clara claimed, doing a spin. Okay, so she started spinning. Then she whispered, that's not my true identity. It means that's not who I am. I'm a scientist. Skates make it easier to get around. Follow me. So after we read the first paragraph, why do you think Alex and Liam were in the science museum? Why did they go to the science museum? So I want you to try to find the answer of this question in the first paragraph. And now we are going to move on to the second paragraph. Here I have the heading. It's about speed. Welcome to our on-the-move exhibit, Clara announced as they entered a large room. So, tell me about the race. There will be 20 cars in the race. We'll be going down the steepest hill in town, Alex said. Sounds thrilling. It must be exciting to go fast, Clara answered as she pressed buttons on a machine. This is a virtual race car, and this screen shows you the virtual race course and your speed. Speed is the distance an object moves in a certain amount of time. This is how we calculate speed. We check the distance and the time. So there's a question here. How does this heading, it's about speed, relate to the section of the text beneath it? So here it's about speed. You can think of it as the main idea or the topic. Okay, so they are going to talk about speed. So what do we, if you want to answer this question, you can, for example, say that there are many sentences that talk about speed. For example, I have the phrase on the move exhibit. This is related to speed. And I also have, for example, it will be exciting to go fast. Fast is related to speed. Virtual race car. So I'm talking about race. This is also related to speed. And then at the end I have speed is the distance an object moves in a certain amount of time. So how is this heading related to the paragraph? Because the whole paragraph, it is related because the whole paragraph is talking about speed, about move, about moving fast as well, and about race. So this is how the heading is related to the paragraph. We have a new heading, forces at work. So we are going to learn about forces in this paragraph. A force is a push or pull. I'm sure that you have learned about these forces in science. Alex and Liam climbed into the machine. This is the machine that they are talking about. Okay? Each seat had a steering wheel and a screen in front of it. Clara said, "Since you want to build a fast car, you need to know about forces and how they affect motion." "What's a force?" asked Liam. Clara continued, "A force is a push or a pull. Forces cause things to move or cause a change in motion. When I apply a big enough force on an object, like this stool, so a stool is a chair with probably 3 legs or 4 legs. This is a stool. But here I assume that this stool has wheels in it. Okay, I will tell you why. So like this stool, it moves. If two objects are exactly the same, the object that receives a bigger force will accelerate or increase its speed, Clara said, pushing 2 stools at the same time. "Which stool received a bigger force?" Clara asked. "The one on the right. It went farther," said Liam. "So, giving our car a big push at the top of the hill will cause it to accelerate and go faster," Alex summarized. So this is very important. This is how they found out how they can use force or science into their advantage. So this question, how will the push force help Liam and Alex? You can find the answer in the last 2 lines. Gravity and friction. This is the last paragraph, the last heading. Gravity and friction. So these are also 2 forces. Clara smiled. "Right. Another force acting on your car is gravity. Gravity is a pulling force between 2 objects." Clara took a tennis ball out of her pocket. "When I drop this ball, gravity pulls it towards the floor. It's the same force that pulls your car down the hill. So, a big push gives us an advantage over other cars, and gravity will keep us going." "How do we stop?" Liam asked. So before I continue, we are going to read this question here. How will the gravity force help Liam and Alex? How is it going to help them? You can find the answer in this small paragraph. So here we said that we can say that the gravity will keep them going. This what will make how the gravity is going to help Liam and Alex. Let's continue. You'll need friction. Friction is a force between two surfaces that slows objects down or stops them from moving. For example, I lean back on my skates and the friction between the rubber stoppers, these are like brakes, and the floor slows me down, said Clara. So here, what force will help them stop the car? What do you think? How can they stop the car? They will need what? Friction. And you have to explain what friction is. Thanks, Clara. The virtual race car was cool. I knew we had the skills and capabilities. Capabilities also means skills to win the race. But now we have science on our side too. Liam grinned. Now the last sentence here, that they have science on their side too, is very important. I want you to think about it. What is the genre of this lesson? The genre of this lesson is narrative nonfiction. A narrative nonfiction usually tells a story. How can I know if it tells a story? It usually have place, time, characters. These are the story elements. Next, it can have facts and examples. Okay, it can be about the topic that we're talking about. And it can include text features as headings, for example, or speech balloons. That was the end of our lecture. Thank you a lot for watching. For any questions, join me during our Zoom session.